Greetings and welcome to Theology, Geek, Fitness. I'm Jonathan Pritchett. It is a new year. 2022 is kicking off, and I'm sure some of you are in your first week of your New Year's resolution plans. You decided that you wanted to get into shape, or you wanted to lose weight, or both. We talked about New Year's resolutions in the last video, so I just wanted to follow that up with this being the first week of the new year to get you going if you're still looking for how to get started. So share a little bit of information about that. Talk about my experience. I remember back in 2019, I wanted to get into shape. I made a New Year's resolution to do it. Didn't even start until April. And then I got all the weight off, got down to my goal weight about 145 pounds from 220 pounds. And then maintained that until around March of 2020 when the gyms closed, and decided to start finding solutions to work out at home. And guess what? I've never gone back to the gym except on rare occasions when I'm traveling and I want to go check out something at a hotel gym, or maybe a buddy asked me to go along. But for the most part, I've stuck with working out at home. So if you're thinking about exercise and what to do for exercise, or you're thinking about both dieting and exercising, I'll start with the diet part first. That's typically where people have the most trouble, is figuring out what they need to do to lose some weight. And what you really need to do is you need to get into a caloric deficit, and you need to exercise and do cardiovascular exercises as well. I used an online calculator to figure out what my daily caloric expenditure was. Figured out how much weight I wanted to lose in a week, and you know that you have to burn 3,500 calories to lose a pound of weight. So I figured out what I would burn if I walked 10,000 steps and worked out 5 days a week. And then I decided I was going to settle around, and it's going to be different for everyone's height, weight, gender, whatever. You enter all that stuff in. Is it accurate? No. Is it ballpark close enough? Yeah, it actually worked for me. So I'll put a link to that calculator. So figure out, I'm going to make sure I'm going to walk this many steps. I'm going to get my 10,000 steps a day. You should add that. Don't go to bed till you get your 10,000 steps. I cheat now. If I'd have known then what I know now, with having a little pedal station here under my desk that I use. You can get one at Walmart for like $25. That's like, if you watch my cardio video, that's like where I get almost all of my cardio, is just sitting here at my desk. Or maybe you don't have a desk job, but when you get home from work, you can just sit there in a chair. It's January, so it's kind of cold in most places, or it's really cold in some places. So maybe walking outside, maybe not spending $700-800 on a treadmill is not going to work for you. So if you like to just sit and watch television, watch television while you get your cardio in. It's better than nothing. And then when it gets warmer, you can go on walks and stuff. So I just sit here and get my cardio by pedaling. As far as eating goes, like I said, you need to get in a caloric deficit, figure out how many calories that you're going to burn if you get your 10,000 steps or pedals or whatever, and you get your exercise activity in. What do you burn? And then figure out, well, if I want to lose a pound a week or 2 pounds a week or whatever, you need to eat X amount of calories, less 3,500 to lose a pound a week. You need to eat X amount of calories, less 7,000 calories if you want to lose 2 pounds in a week. And no, it doesn't come off quite so perfectly like that. But when I look back on the April to October that I was dieting to lose weight, guess what? It averaged out to a little over 2 pounds a week by figuring it out like that. Even though it didn't come off exactly 2 pounds every single week, at the end of every week I burned off 2 pounds. You'd lose 6 pounds, no pounds, 2 pounds, no pounds, 4 pounds, 2 pounds. You know, just changes from week to week. You'd plateau for a week or two, but if you just stick with it and grind it out. So when it comes to counting calories and how many calories, you need to start Googling and looking at nutrition data. You need to get measuring cups and get over the fact that you have to scoop in your portion and dump it on your plate or into your container if you meal prep like I do. I have a whole video on what I do for meal prep. And you just need to, until you can ballpark it in your head and you just learn about portion sizes, and you learn about how many calories and what kind of foods, and then you pretty much don't need to keep looking up things all the time. But you need to start doing that so that you can keep track of it, write it down on paper, in a book, on your phone, in your notes, or use an app to track your meals. Do something to stay on track so that you consume a certain amount of calories. For me, it was 1,500 calories for the 5 days that I worked out, and it was 2,000 calories on my rest days. Just not to go crazy. In fact, I have another video where I go over what my weight loss plans, meal plans, what my eating looked like. You can figure that out for yourself. I, at this point, have simplified my relationship with food to where I eat basically the same things for 5 out of the 6 meals, and the only diversity I really get in my food other than cheat meals is, like on the weekends, is my dinners. But other than that, I'm going to eat the same things for breakfast, mid-morning, afternoon, dinner, late night before I go to bed. You know, it's going to be a protein shake or something. And my snacks, it's just always the same except for dinner. And then on the weekends, I vary it up a little bit as well, but I still try to eat as relatively healthy, even with cheating and all of that, my little cheat snacks and whatever. Still stay relatively healthy, and I stay to where even if I'm not working out, my expenditure and my calorie intake is going to balance out to be negligible and or just kind of just neutral, where it doesn't add anything or whatever. It doesn't even put me in a deficit. It just, you know, balances out. And I can roughly guesstimate that as I go. Is it perfect? No, but it's kept me in good shape. Now, as far as exercising, like I said, talk about cardio, you need to get 10,000 steps a day minimum. That's just a good way to get started. I do all sorts of things for cardio. I have a video on that, but just figure out what works for you. But I like the Peddle station. I think that's a good place to start. Like I said, it'll set you back $25 at Walmart. As far as your exercising, your resistance training, what you do for that, maybe you join a gym, maybe you don't. I have a whole video on commercial gyms versus home gyms. I had success in both. I prefer home gym, or working out here in the office or anywhere. I feel like it. But that's a preference. But interesting facts about home gym is, you know, a lot of people sign up in January, and they even have specials going on in January. But I have in that video about home gyms versus commercial gyms, there's some data there with it has all the citations. But I mean, 80% of everyone who joins in January has quit by May, you know, and at least 50% or so, somewhere in there, have quit altogether, you know, by the end of June. That was started going to the gym, not even just new members. But you also have the fact that only 18% of everyone who's ever owned a gym membership go consistently. So 82% of people who have a gym membership don't ever go consistently. So given that data, I don't think anyone should even start their what I call sagas, fitness sagas. Some people say fitness journey. I think of more of an ongoing saga. But I don't think anyone should start in a gym. I really don't, because the odds are against you. People think, oh, I need to go to the gym to get motivated, or I need to go with a buddy, and that'll keep me accountable. No, workout buddies are the worst for most people. No one's going to control your eating but you. No one's going to lose the weight but you. No one's going to get in shape and build muscles but you. And so you need to just go at it alone. And maybe along the way you'll pick up somebody who will work out with you. I've tried it in the past. When you go to the gym, everyone's got their heads in their own headphones. Very few people work out together anymore. And it's hard to maintain a gym buddy over an extended period of time because just life happens. So I recommend start out at home using home-based equipment. And you don't need to spend a lot of money to do that. Like I said, $25 will get you a foot pedal to sit there and watch Netflix and pedal instead of eating Cheetos while you watch Netflix. You know, I mean, that's a place to start. But you should do some resistance training as well to build some muscle and to help keep any muscle that you have as you start losing weight, because you don't just lose water and fat, you'll also lose muscle. So you want to keep your muscle. So when you diet, you want to make sure that you get somewhere between 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of weight that you weigh. And that, even as your weight goes down, just maintain that, and then work out what else you eat besides that around that, your calories from protein sources. So do that. Work out at home to just get some momentum going, to get consistent. If you want to join a gym, you can join a gym later, but start with some home equipment. You don't even need to buy like dumbbells or kettlebells or anything. You don't need weights to build muscle at all. Muscle building principles, whether you use body weight or use a suspension trainer, or you use resistance bands, or you use weight machines or free weights or whatever, the principles are all the same. And if you're just getting started, it's all going to be new to you anyway. Or if you're even getting back into it, you don't think that you need a power rack and you need to go spend $1,200 on some plates and a bar and a bench and all of that other stuff. You don't need it. I haven't lifted traditional free weights or used weight machines in 2 years, and I weigh 156 pounds, and my body fat percentage is maybe 13%, up from like 11 to 12 when I finished my weight loss part of my fitness saga. Now I've been trying to build muscle, and in my mid 40s, I did that when I was 42. I'm about to be 45, and roughly 10 pounds of muscle, 8 to 10 pounds of muscle, and keeping my body fat low, where I still look really lean, have abs and all that. That's pretty good for 2 years, and not even using any weights at my age and so forth. So you don't need to do that. You don't need a full gym to do it. I like training with resistance bands. For those of you who follow this channel, you know that I like to use suspension trainers. I like to use calisthenics equipment, like parallel bars and pull-up bars. I like to use sandbag. I like to use those water-weighted things like the Surge 60 and the Hydro Balls from Bosu. I like all that kind of stuff, so I use like weighted stuff. So I'm not even, I'm not a crusader for any type. If you want to go to the gym and lift weights, or if you want to buy gym equipment that's free weight based for your house, go for it. I'm just saying that stuff's expensive, and even joining a gym with the $0 down and $10 a month, to get you in, plus the annual fee, you're still looking at, over the course of a year, which 82% of people won't ever use, about $159, without the initial joining fee. Or if for something like Planet Fitness or one of those $10 a month or $25 a month packages that they offer, comes out with the annual fee to be about $350 a year. So you're still looking at, over the course of a year, paying a lot of money, and may not ever go. With working out at home, or anywhere you want, if you want to go to the park or whatever, you aren't necessarily having to add a whole lot to your schedule to incorporate fitness, right? Like going to a gym and marking out that time. Like if you watch an hour of Netflix every night, or Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever, you can work out while you watch that, right? There's no one says you can't. You haven't added anything new other than more activity to something you were already doing, which is sitting at your house and watching television. So start there, see if you can get some momentum going, see if you can get consistent with that before you spend a lot of money on either a gym membership or upgrading your home equipment. Now, I am a big advocate. I'm not a crusader. I'm not trying to be messianic about resistance bands or anything, but I'm a big advocate of resistance bands just because they're the most versatile, out-of-the-bag toolkit. And I do recommend the Undersun Bands, and you're going to, that's going to put you, I think right now they're on sale. I think you can get them between $60 and $70 shipped to your door. And then if you go buy the little Peddle thing at Walmart, you're still under $100. And you'll have them, and the Undersun resistance bands have a lifetime warranty. So even if you joined a gym later, but they were closed for whatever reason, or you're traveling and you can't get to a gym or whatever, you always have something to get a workout in. You know, because if you're going to make a resolution to get in shape, you need to make a resolution that you're going to change your lifestyle. And this is just health, nutrition, fitness is just going to be a part of your life now. And so having something to use around the house is relatively inexpensive, because if you were to buy like 2 dumbbells, you're going to spend almost that much, because dumbbells, the cost of just a pair of dumbbells has gone up. Whereas you get more bang for your buck with $70 worth of resistance bands. Yes, they have cheaper bands out there, but they don't have as great of a warranty. The Undersun Bands now come with that awesome door anchor / outdoor anchor that you can use indoors or outdoors, wrap it around a tree or a pole or something in your back. You can just work. It just gives you total freedom to work out whenever and wherever you want to. So I'm a big advocate of that. But even if that's too much, right, and you want to say, I'm not going to spend $25 on a little thing that I can pedal while I watch Netflix. Okay, well, go walk out in the cove, but you need to do some cardiovascular exercises. And when you're out of shape and just getting started, walking is the best one that I recommend. But it's kind of cold outside. But if you want to suck it up and go walk, go walk. Another way to do it is if you want to do a suspension trainer. You don't have to buy a TRX. Those are good quality things, but they are incredibly overpriced. I would never buy one myself. I have a knockoff one that I picked up at a store called Evansville Treasure Hunt for $5, and it looks just like it. You know, it's yellow and black or whatever, and it cost me $5. But that's because I found it at that little treasure hunt store where you dig around through bins or whatever. Not everyone has those in their town, and even if they do, they may not have a suspension trainer just in there that it was a return item that got lost and they bought from Amazon or whatever. I don't know. I don't know where they get their stuff. But at Walmart, they have, and I have a video on this, they have a suspension trainer that's $15. And then you complement that with some flat stretch bands that are $10 for the box. You get 3, and I actually have a whole workout program for 12 weeks designed around that for my patrons. If you go to patreon.com/Theology Geek Fitness, you get the full workout program for that to get going, you know. But I recommend something, and so either get the Undersun Bands and start working out. I have all kinds of exercises in my videos here for different muscle groups, whatever. Go for that. Or the suspension trainer that's just goes over your doors, easy to set up, and then the flat bands to complement it, do some accessory work that's not quite as easy to do on the suspension trainer for certain exercises. So get that. That's $25. Get the pedal station, $50. Bam. But like I said, I recommend you get started at home. I recommend that you figure out what your caloric expenditure is going to be, and then figure out how many calories you can eat to lose the amount of weight per week that you want to lose on average. Then do your 10,000 steps, and then do some workouts at home, whether it's 3 days a week or 5 days a week. I don't care what split. I don't care what routine. If you need some routines to get started, join my page. You can get in for $1, and you can get access to all kinds of home-based workouts, all filmed right here in my office. You can follow along. It's laid out for you. You can do that with resistance bands. You can do that with that suspension trainer. You don't have to get the one from Walmart. You can get any suspension trainer you like, you know, and some flat bands and follow along that way. That should get you going. And if you're consistent with that and decide, oh, I want to go lift weights, I want to go bench press, I want to go do barbell squats and all that, go for it. But don't join a gym until you know that you're going to actually make the effort to start eating right and exercising on a regular basis. So, you know, and like I say, you can do that for under $100 if you want to. You can do it for under $50. But when you buy that stuff for the home, even if you have a gym membership, but you can't get to the gym, you can always have that stuff even after you have a gym membership to get a workout in whenever, however, and wherever you can. So it's good to have that anyway, because you want to make this a part of your life, whether you ever join a gym or you don't. You just continue on home-based and anywhere-based workouts like I do, which I've had great success with. I don't miss gyms at all. So there you go. That's my advice for you to get started. I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, click the like button. If you don't like it, click the dislike button. Don't care either way. Leave some comments, questions that you have down at the bottom in the comments section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you want to support us, what we're doing here on Theology Geek Fitness, go to patreon.com/theologygeekfitness and become a patron. All that money gets reinvested in the channel, plus it gives you access to workouts and other things like that. So I hope you'll consider that, and I appreciate you watching. I wish you all the best in 2022, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.